So now we are ready for the last panel session of the day. We have had a lot of good points already. I know in the last panel there was a lot of talk about innovation of technology. So I think this is a very good bridge to this discussion now, where we will discuss standardization and sustainability. And I'm very pleased to have in the panel here today, panel chair Mr. Salah Mahmud, Mr. Ruman Ishtiak Rafeen from the National Association of Small and Cottage Industry, Mr. Ahamed Khondaker, representing the FAO, and Mr. Shaheed in Sarowar, head of marketing from the NASCIB Limited. And we will talk today about sustainability and about standardization. And as you know, agriculture and food production is a very large part is a very large greenhouse gas emitter. It is food production is responsible for about 1/3 of all greenhouse gas emissions. But at the same time, we see a globe where the population is increasing. People need more food, better food, safer food. So a lot of this also is about how do we become better at producing more and better food without using more resources. So I would like to start by asking you, Mr. Khondaker, because the FAO is a very the FAO is a very important agriculture and food partner, an international partner. And I would like to ask you how you think now when Bangladesh is moving from aid to trade, how do you see that the Bangladeshi food and agricultural sector can cooperate with the Nordic countries?
Caesar, Abu.
Okay, thank you very much, distinguished participants and director. Actually, you have rightly mentioned that FAO is the hub of agriculture and ecosystem transformation. FAO is continuously working together. The government of Bangladesh is here. So, if we compare our baseline, independence in 1971, our population was 75 million, and we had about 2 million metric ton food deficit. In the liberation war, we lost about 3 million. So the journey started with 72 million people with 2 million metric ton of food deficit. Now, with 170 million or more people, yes, self-sufficient in rice, particularly grain food, under normal conditions. If there is no serious disaster, loss, anything. So this was possible due to the huge investment in the crop sector of the government. So this is a good indicator of success in our technology, in our production, in our investment. And once we achieve our self-sufficiency, once we develop our capacity to produce enough food for us, we have a deficit in some areas like pulses, oils, wheat, which is never possible in our country, very difficult to achieve due to the environmental conditions, self-sufficiency. And we are thinking for now the safety, nutrition, standard, all these things. These things actually initially was not much considered. Government has established the Bangladesh Food Safety Authority. Act was approved in 2013 and authority was formed in 2015. So in the safety area, we have started for the sustainability. Now the organization is growing. So as I said, the agriculture sector of Bangladesh has progressed a lot, both in terms of production and productivity as well. Now the country is moving to the aid to trade. So you see the huge production in the market. The quality, farmers are not much about the quality, but the standard. So now to aid to trade involves a series of activities which we need to update, train the farmers, motivate the farmers particularly. Policymakers are almost covered. And there are many direct or indirect facilities are necessary, which is for exchange of the goods and services. Some of them are like traceability, where it is produced, where it is being, and digitalization in every step of the process, proper transport from one place to another, without reducing the quality and also the nutrition aspect, proper communication. So cooling system should be there, and in the warehouses where we store it, and they should be supported with the banking or financing friendly systems. And once they lost the crops or any steps of the food system, they should have some insurance coverage, and advertising, salesmanship, market intelligence, trade promotion organization in the country, global organization, national and international for the trade. All those activities, I think, related to aid to trade and poorly developed. It is poorly developed in our country. So particularly Nordic countries have developed good expertise on food system transformation. This can help our country to improve the several activities that involve aid to trade. For example, transport. In Bangladesh, the distance between centers of production and the centers of consumption may not be lengthy in terms of mileage, but is hugely lengthy in terms of time required due to the poor communication, traffic congestion, all these things. The quality of transport is well below standard, which degrades quality of goods. Nordic experience will help us to ease this difficulty to aid to trade in Bangladesh. Warehousing, which is essential because there is a time gap between production and consumption. In other words, goods which are produced at one time are not consumed at the same time. You see, huge many in the market, we are not consuming at the same time. Some are consuming, some are actually rotten. So farmers are not getting proper price. Similarly, in case of other crops, food, potato, others. Agricultural commodities are seasonal in nature, but are consumed for longer months. Therefore, goods need to be stored in the warehouse, proper condition, until they are demanded by the consumers. Warehousing facilities and structures are poor in our country. The country could benefit from the Nordic experiences and support. The investment is necessary. Some of the promising agricultural commodities of Bangladesh, such as the mangoes and potatoes, as I mentioned, urgently needs to enter international market. Nordic countries can help to grow Bangladesh from developing strategies and tactics in this regard. Particularly, the standards, different standards of safety measures, like the codex conditions, HACCP, all these things we need to actually standardize, apply in the country. Agro-processing of Bangladesh is just picking up. Urgent assistance is needed to improve value addition of Bangladesh commodities by vitalizing agro-processing sector. We will seek support from Nordic countries. And there are a lot of agro-processing products available in the market. If you see that, so value standard, poor quality, we need to prevent those things. Those are health hazards as well. Standards, rules, procedures, protocols should be maintained properly to support development countries for production, processing, storage at 3 stages of the crops, or high quality nutritious food production with safety measures. This is a question. Then you have another question. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'd like to ask to give the word further on to Mr. Rafeen, and ask, because you represent the National Association for Small and Cottage Industries. Can you tell a little bit about the challenges for the SMEs with standardization and developing a more sustainable and resilient food production?
Thank you. My name is Ruman. I'm representing NASCIB. NASCIB is the only association for small and cottage industries which is active, other than Dhaka, also active in other districts as well. So let me be a bit specific rather than the general discussion we are having today. We know that Bangladesh is doing fantastic into the production side of the food, but at the same time, you'll be surprised to know that 1/3 of the vegetable and fruit get waste every year. the production is high, also the rate of wastage is high as well. Because we just focusing on the production, but not on the other value chain actors. There's transportation, there's distribution channel, there's post-harvest management, there is capacity development, there is enhancement, there should be a technological advancement. We don't have these things. I worked in the hill tracks for 3 years, and I've seen that there's a huge potential to produce the pineapples, but end of the year, every year, a lot of pineapples got wasted. Then I searched about the agro-processing thing. In our country, you can buy 3 big pineapples with $2, with only $2, and then we can sell it. But if you can add value to it, if you can change it to agro-processing, such as the example is dried pineapple, then 1 kg of dried pineapple can be sold in Canada for $20. So 10 times higher. But we are not focusing on that part. Also, I was reading an article that tomato was 50 taka kg when there is a high demand. But same month, when the demand was low, it got sold at 3 taka. So there is unhealthy competition, unhealthy distribution model. There is policy, regulation, but lack of implementation, lack of foresee the future, how we can ensure. Because if you can do the dried pineapple and work on that agro-processing part, you can enhance the shelf life of the fruit. So pineapple, after 10 days, you can eat it. But if you can process it to dry, you can eat after 6 to 12 months with the nutrition intake. So in the SMEs, what they are facing, the problem is that they don't know what to do. There's no one to guide, because you need to do a lot of capacity development. You have to train them. There should be intensive research and development for that part. So these all of the much needed in the SMEs. They need a new market. They need to linkage with the foreign markets where they can send their products for mangoes, for pineapple, for vegetables. These are the challenges. I think we should be a bit specific, because there will be a lot of challenges every time. But if we go step by step and we can figure out the challenge, all not at a time, but some, and go step by step, there is a huge potentiality, because we still are good at production. So we just need to fine tune here and there, and we just ensure have to have some good policies which are implementing well in the field level. And that's we can actually work with the SMEs, because the main production line are handled by the SMEs. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And it's always very interesting to hear, and I'd like to ask Mr. Shaheed bin Sarowar, as you're Standardization Foods Limited, and you are an example of a joint venture with a Danish company. And I wanted to ask if you could tell a little bit about why did you enter this joint venture, and what has it meant both for standardization and for your market development?
Thank you. One of our objectives of the company is to provide safe, hygienic, and good quality ready-to-eat food products. So from that context, when we started, we were looking for a cooperation or from an outside company that who could help us with the proper knowledge, technology, and know-how to help us produce this kind of international standard, safe, hygienic, and good quality ready-to-eat food products. So from that perspective, we came across with NASCIB, and it was a great initiation and collaboration between us, I would say, because NASCIB, right now we have a state-of-art factory in Sarowar area, where our counterpart, the Danish part, they helped us to set up this factory with technology and give us the know-how and all the recipes and formulation to produce this good quality, safe, hygienic food products. Also, they helped us to establish the standards and the protocols to maintain this quality. So that actually helped us a lot. And why we did it, because also we see that the people in our country, they also have a concern regarding the hygiene, safety, food safety, and the quality of the products. So that collaboration helped us to get more authenticity to the consumers. Okay, we are providing a good quality products, and that helped our business as well. So we started our operation in 2015. And we started with very few products, and mostly our operation was concentrated in Dhaka. But right now, we are distributing in almost all the major district cities and the thanas and the rural areas. So we are delivering everywhere. And from our product line, we extended from 7 to 8 products to right now we have 27 kinds of cakes, and also we included cookies and also breakfast items. Recently we added this item because we see that there's a major shift in the food consumption pattern because people are now really busy. So in the morning they don't have time to prepare all these breakfast items right now. So we are trying to bring a solution for the people, a healthy and easy breakfast items so that they can easily make this breakfast with these items and they can move on to their work. So the business has been going pretty well, and we've been accepted also very well by the consumer as well because of this quality and hygiene and of our product. That's it.
Well, thank you very much. I think it's very interesting to hear all your points for some of the participants. And I'd like to ask the panel chair, Mr. Salah and Mahmud, with your experience, can you tell us a little bit about what opportunities there are for investment and for exporting, especially within the agriculture and food and agriculture market?
Thank you very much, moderator, and also my co-panelists, Mr. Khondaker, Ahamed, and also Mr. Ruman, Ishtiak, representative from NASCIB, and Sarowar, Dan Food Market Limited. You have already heard the progress and prospects regarding the standardization of food in Bangladesh from our panelists. First of all, I like to mention the speech of Mr. Khondaker. In the last 20 years, since 2009, we see that quality should be ensured, particularly the food items which actually we are taking every day. That is very important in today's world also. If we want to make satisfied the customers. And he has also tried to mention that historically transport system of our country is not so good. So there needs to be so many measures to be taken, I think. Sorry for interruption. And Mr. Ruman, representative from NASCIB, he has tried to make one thing very important, that is 1/3 of our food items, including vegetables and other items, are being lost every year. So it is alarming. And in the last panel discussion, we have also heard that and our Honorable Agriculture Minister, Mr. Abdullah Sir, he has also tried to make clear that due to the lackage of our competence, we cannot do many things to make this loss of food. So government is trying to mitigate that also. So he has very rightly pointed out that lack of this efficiency, we are losing very important thing, that we have to take very pragmatic measures so that we can restore the production and the loss of food. And finally, Mr. Sarowar, he has tried to mention some of the things, that is the hygiene of the food. It is also very important in today's world. Without the satisfaction, the attraction, and the safety of the food, we cannot actually distribute and we cannot make it for the consumers. So it is very important. Now the question of the export of food items. We should know that every year only aromatic rice, if you know that, a small amount of we are going to export. But there are a lot of opportunities in the agro-processing food item which we can export. But due to lack of so many modern and technological improved equipments and factories, still we could not do that. So we still not so much enough to export some of the food items. But there has to be some measures. Particularly we can mention here for attraction, that is in food safety management. ASIC Foundation is doing some of the programs. By this time we have made 21 entrepreneur unit who have been able to get the ISO 22000 certificate. That is a very important thing. We have engaged 3 to 4 experts to take their monitoring and evaluation of the factories. They have done it during the whole 6 months, and they have made them able to apply for the ISO certificate. And they were very successful. So far we have made it 21. By this time they have got the certificate. And at present there are another 10 entrepreneurs unit. They are doing the same thing, and hopefully we can expect that they will also get their ISO standardization certificate. So it is very important that our Standardization Institute, they are giving the certificates to the producers. But still, there are a huge number of producing units which actually don't have that sort of certificates. So they should be made able. And the ASIC Foundation is trying to do that thing. So I think by this we can ensure that the consumers will get their hygiene, safe, and affordable prices to get their food item. So I think that should be one of the main reasons that these sort of seminars can help us all these things. So with these few words I would like to conclude here, and later on, if some of the questions you can make, we will try to give answers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Rafeen. You asked for a short comment.
Thank you. So when we talk about the challenges of SMEs, we draw a line that all SMEs are looking for money or something harm. So apart from that, I guess not for the money, SMEs, now they are looking for, I would like to grab the attention of the investors, private sector and the government officials, that a common facility centers can be there for the farmers, for the food sector value chain actors, where they will get the new research data, they will get the storage facilities, okay, they can use as they go, pay as they go kind of thing. They will get the data about the supply and demand, they will get the data about the marketing page, they will get trained, they will get the information about the technologies. So these are the things we'd like to highlight, that NASCIB is open to collaborate with government officials, government ministries, private sectors, and investors, alternate investors, that we can establish. We have already identified some places. We established common facility centers for farmers who are involved. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'd like to ask anyone in the audience has a question. We have room for one question. You can think about it just for 1 minute. Because first I'd like to ask you, Mr. Khondaker, because the FAO has done this standardization, the process of the codex in Bangladesh, and I wanted to ask you how you can facilitate the knowledge exchange in this area.
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I answer a comment on this, I'd like to mention one point that Bangladesh agriculture production imports are mostly import dependent. Imports mainly are fertilizers, seeds, pesticide, mostly import dependent. It comes from other countries. You see one of three major fertilizers, you will see urea fertilizer. We have some factories who produce how many 20 to 30%, and rest of the fertilizer comes from other countries. You have to import. Then TSP, triple super phosphate to supplement phosphorus. We have only one factory in Chittagong. How much we can supply? 5-6% currently, I think. And another is the potash supplement, made of potash, 100% imported. We don't produce anything. So seeds, it's growing. Private sector and farmers have a lot of production still, and the BADC they are producing still we import huge amount of seed. And the pesticides we also import. So all these things, farmers are dependent on other countries, other peoples. So how we can invest, how we can produce in the country to make all these inputs available to the farmers, producers at an affordable cost. So some people say criticize about the subsidy in agriculture, fertilizers. Ministry of Agriculture was 60% or something goes to the subsidy. Actually, if 1 kg urea government buy 90 or 100 Dhaka per kg, so farmers cannot buy, cannot afford for farmers. They cannot grow. And if the farmers do not apply the balanced dose of fertilizers, nitrogen, phosphorus, or potassium, there will be no production. Ultimately, the country will suffer. So this is one kind of extra subsidy. This is one kind of investment for the production of the country. So farmers need continuous supply of inputs available at affordable price. So we need to give emphasis to invest in this area. How? There is a subject of experts, because all this industry needs energy and other so many things, raw materials. So it's main thing is farmers should have the cheaper, affordable prices inputs. And the Codex issue, there are two organizations in the country, Codex and BSTA. Codex harmonize the standardization process, but the mandate of these two private institutions also should be harmonized. Who will do what? There is also another important task that should be high level of the government, I think. Sometimes there is overlapping, sometimes one organization is claiming this is my responsibility, another person is doing. Sometimes we are not present in the Codex forums. So this has to be sorted out. However, consumers need to be able to trust in the safety and quality of the food they buy. And importers need to trust that the food they order will be in accordance with their specifications. The Codex Elementaries of food code is a collection of standards, guidelines, and codes of practices adopted by the Codex Elementaries Commission. The Commission is the central part of the Food Standards Program, which was established by a World Health Organization to protect consumer health and promote fair prices in food trade. So, with support from FAO Bangladesh, team were on its way to harmonize the Codex standards. The process has initiated only. So, the country is trying foundation to establish a trusted supplier of good quality and safe food. While significant progress has been made towards Codex harmonization, there are gaps that need to be addressed. Identified and addressed, a key step for setting science-based standard is to collect the data on the contaminants and pathogens that cause foodborne illness. Coming to knowledge exchange, we need to bring together academic researchers and users of research, that is the Bangladesh Food Safety Authority, BSTA, to exchange ideas, evidence, and expertise. We need to develop a platform for this. FAO is willing to support the establishment of a system to do this. Generated data can be utilized by the Bangladesh Prospective Authority, BSTA, to formulate revise and enforce the regulations. We can also involve regional countries in the knowledge exchange process. By doing so, on one hand, we can further learn from other countries on improving standardization process of codex that we have developed in Bangladesh. On the other hand, and more importantly, we can share our system and experience to other countries by such a system needs to develop. Actually, Bangladesh, so far I came to know Bangladesh is not properly represented in the codex in the forums. Just I will share a study report by the researcher. Countries like US, Canada, UK, and France, 5 to 15% populations are still food insecure, not having enough food to eat due to lack of money or other resources. But in the Nordic countries like Denmark, Finland, Norway, Sweden, generally assume that food insecurity eradicated due to the low differences in wages and developed social security scheme. Still, food insecurity exists, especially among some women, young people, single parents, and low-income groups are more at risk of experiencing food insecurity. So, let us say that along with the developed countries, Nordic countries must support and invest to the developing countries, not only for the interest of the developing countries, also for the interest of the developed countries to increase the food production, maintain sanitary and medicinal major food safety, food standards, so that once it is imported by the Nordic countries, they get the good quality, safe, and nutritious food. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, we have one question here.
My name is Mahmud. Good afternoon, everybody. I really raised the hand because when I'm seeing the panelists consist of SME Foundation, NASCIB, African representative, and a business person like from a company like Danfood, I didn't complete myself because the question is, in our country there are so many SMEs here and there. When I was a kid, I found myself a local food named puffed rice is being sold by the SME companies. Currently, this food is being produced and packaged and marketed by so many big giants. Probably they are also bringing the superstar Saqib Al-Hassan as the advertising tools, and they're paying a lot of money. Now, coming back to the point of the SMEs, they are just struggling to sell the product because they do not have the advertising materials. They cannot, sustainability point of view, how do you measure that SMEs can be sustained when the big giants are in the same market? Apparently, I have another question for the Mahmud sir. How the SMEs can be taken part of the central economy? Because whenever we are thinking about the Japanese economy, there are so many backward link factories or companies who are just producing the parts, who are producing the components for the big companies. But in this country, when the SMEs are going for the business, so many big companies are doing the same business. How do you think that these companies can be sustainable? Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much for your very nice and pertinent question. First of all, I would like to say regarding your first question, that is, there are some of the big giants and big companies, they are producing some of the items which they are not supposed to produce. That is the thing. Yes, that is a very burning, well-discussed question nowadays. We see that, but the government is aware of it, because if the SMEs, it is very much relevant to produce these sort of small items. But if the big companies, they come forward to do the same thing, that is a very big problem for the SMEs. So we are in many ways, in many seminars, we have tried to raise this issue to the government, and the government, honorable ministers also regarding, they are very much conscious of it, that this should not be. So in the near future, we will be able to give some very strong measures to stop this thing of these things, so that the SMEs can survive. Regarding the second question, that is, you know that in Japan and also many other European countries, they are actually giving wonderful opportunity to the SMEs to provide their backward linkage. So they are very much alert and they are very strong to help the big companies. So it is also being thought in our country, and we hope that this can also be solved, these issues. Because you know that in Japan, including in Germany, many European countries, Vietnam, Malaysia, India, you know that their contribution in economy is much more better than Bangladesh. Particularly in Malaysia, the contribution there in their economy is almost 40%. In India, Vietnam, more than 60%. And in Japan, almost 98% of the total economy is coming from SMEs. So we cannot survive without the contribution of the SMEs in our country also. So you know that there are huge SMEs, now almost 120 crores SMEs in Bangladesh. So it is very important that they should be given a very good opportunity. 120 lakhs, I think I just said. So 120 lakh SMEs there are. So if they can, each of the SMEs can give one person for their employment, we can have one opportunity to have more than 1 good people in our job market. So SMEs are very potential in our country. There is a policy 2019, you know, and government is giving much more emphasis that with the SMEs, we cannot think of overall development of our country. Our Prime Minister, she every year comes to our SME fairs, and she is also giving much more emphasis that we cannot survive, we cannot develop our country without the contribution of the SMEs in our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And on that note, I apologize, but I will have to conclude this panel. We are out of time. But thank you so much for your time and for all the good advice and all the good things. I think it's very important, as many of you have stressed, that food waste and food loss is a big problem, not just here in Bangladesh, but globally. Actually, if food loss and waste was a country, it would be the third largest emitter of greenhouse gases. And it's a waste of resources because it's food that we meant for people. So on that way, I would like to conclude the panel, the second panel for today. And